There's a lot of misinformation out there when it comes to food allergies, and it can be difficult to separate fact from fiction. Meg Nohe of Food Allergy Partners joins us this morning to debunk some of those myths. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, the first one is that allergic reactions can only occur after ingesting a known allergen.
Which, first of all, it is true that they can occur after you ingest an allergen, and that's the most common way people think of. But there is a possibility that if you have a peanut allergy, for example, and you touch a table that has peanut butter on it, touch can be an issue for a reaction occurring, as well as inhalation. So if you're on an airplane and you're allergic to peanuts and the peanut protein is in the air, that could be an issue as well, potentially.
Yikes. Okay, and do allergies always show up in childhood?
Not necessarily. So you see that commonly, but in truth, allergies can show up in childhood or as an adult and to any ethnicity. It's not just a certain ethnicity.
Okay. What about the fact that food allergies are not life-threatening? Is that fact or fiction?
That is not fact.
Okay.
So food allergies affect the immune system. If you were to have an allergic reaction that became increasingly severe, so a rapid onset of severe symptoms, that can lead to anaphylaxis, which is a life-threatening reaction. Okay,
each allergic reaction becomes increasingly worse.
That's not necessarily true. And that's one that I hear a lot as a food allergy coach, of people asking me that question. The reality is, no reaction is going to present exactly the same way, and the severity could differ. So even if you have a reaction 4 times that presents similarly, the 5th time the severity could differ, as well as the types of symptoms and how it presents.
Okay. If you cook a food that you're allergic to, does it make it less allergenic?
No, is the short answer. There's a little caveat there. A lot of people think of it as a bacteria. So, you know, if you have raw chicken and you cook the bacteria out and make it more safe. When you're talking about food allergies and food allergen proteins, you can cook them to a really high temperature, but the proteins don't cook out. The one caveat to that kind of rule is that some people with egg or milk allergies, if they have it in small amounts and it's cooked in baked goods, they can tolerate it.
Oh, okay.
So that's something, so that's something I tell people, that's something to talk to your allergist about. It's not for every person. It doesn't work that way for everybody.
Okay. What about, let's talk about antibacterial hand sanitizer. Is it effective in removing allergens from your skin?
It's not. So if you think about it, if you have, we'll use the peanut example again. You have peanut butter on your hands, you put antibacterial on there, you rub it around, you're really just rubbing around.
The peanuts.
Yeah, which could cause problems. So in theory, what you want to do is warm water and soap, wash it away. It's really the idea of removing it from your skin.
Okay.
That's going to be helpful.
Let's talk about blood tests. Do you need a blood test to know if you have an allergy?
So a lot of allergists will use blood tests or skin prick tests to aid in diagnosis. The gold standard, and really the only way to definitively 100% know, is to do an oral food challenge at an allergist's office. And that's
a thing?
Yes.
They just have you try a million different foods?
And it depends on the patient, the severity of their allergen, things like that. So it's not something that is always done as standard of care, but that is the only way to 100% know if a food allergy is present.
Okay. A food allergy is the same as an intolerance or sensitivity?
They are very different, and the trick there is a lot of the symptoms can be very similar. The difference is, if you have a food allergy, it affects the immune system, and there is potential that it can become severe and be fatal. It's not common, but it is potential. The difference is, with an intolerance, you can have some of the same symptoms. They can be really severe, but it's more of a digestive system reaction. So it's not life-threatening, and it won't progress that way. Okay.
And then the last one is, one small bite of food isn't enough to elicit an allergic reaction.
You know, it has been documented that trace amounts of a food allergen can elicit a severe reaction. It won't occur the same way in everybody, but it is something to be aware of. So it is a best practice, if you're eating out at a restaurant and you have a food allergy, to take a small bite just to be certain that it works well for you. But it's not a guarantee that if your allergen's in there, you won't have a reaction to it.
All right, all good information. Meg, thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me, I appreciate it.